You know, there's all kinds of meditation out there, and I think I have something really special for you today. Bonnie, thanks for coming in today. You are a teacher. Your reputation precedes itself. I have already had people coming up to me unsolicited going, have you heard about Bonny Carroll's classes? And I'm like, no. And they're like, I love them and I can't wait to get to the next one, and so on and so forth. And you have this very unique approach. I can't say that we would call it meditation on the surface, but it becomes a type of meditation, and we're going to call it watercolor journaling. Tell me a little bit about this.
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate being here. I thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Watercolor journaling is a way to record everyday life events or once-in-a-lifetime trips in a journal. And it allows you to tell the weather, tell what's happening for the day, tell your mood, and then paint and also draw and paint something of the day.
Now, one would, if somebody's just listening to this for the first time or hearing about this for the first time, they might presume that they have to be like this advanced artist to begin with, and that's not necessarily true.
Not at all. I came to this at the end of my career in banking and had never had an art class since grade school. So, but it's a practice. So if you do it every day, you learn how to draw, you learn how to paint, and you learn how to define a page.
We get better by doing.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, like these could be, like you say, like momentous occasions, like the birth of a grandson or something like that, but it could also be just like little events that, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? You probably know better than me. Like it's a mundane or an insignificant event in the day, or even an occurrence or a thought in the day, but you could sit down and journal about this, and it becomes something not just deeply personal, but it also becomes a sort of catharsis, perhaps.
Well, more of a memory of a specific day.
Okay.
Like, for example, we have...
if you got an example.
A floral here. And it was a day in the spring. The flowers were just coming out. The
and this
sun
is
was
something
shining.
You've done.
I did this, yeah. It defines the day, the weather, and a little summary of what I thought about the day. So this is a good example. It's very simple. This is something that I would teach florals, how to do them simply and how to put them on a page.
Now, there's writing to this as well?
There is, yes.
And if it's not too personal, do you feel like sharing? I don't know how well that's going to come up on the camera, but can you share?
Here's, I read a book called Somehow Thoughts of Love, and had a quote from that, so I wrote that on my page and put some hearts in. I like florals, so again, some florals. The day.
Every artist has their medium.
Yes, that's true. But one of the other things that I teach in the class is handwriting, which is sort of a lost art.
Oh,
and,
yes.
How to present it on a page with a pen.
Oh, that's awesome. And did you have a profound thought or something that struck you about the book that you can share? Or
Yeah. Stop holding your neck out for them to feed on. So, I mean, it's anything that strikes you, anything you're interested in. I went to Michigan last summer. I went to a farmer's market, and in Michigan, I was in Harbor Springs, and they had all the different springs there. So I drew them and colored them in, and something about the farmer's market. There was a flag of the Grand Hotel, so I took that. So this was a memorable trip that I wanted to remember in a different way. So drawing it, did I do some of it I drew while I was there. Some of it I took pictures while I was there. And some of it I painted later on.
Now that may be somebody at this point is saying, well, if I go somewhere and I want to remember it, I'll take pictures. But okay, so you are getting the images, you're remembering from looking at the pictures. Tell me how drawing it, watercolor, tell me how this becomes like almost a meditative process for enriching the experience that you had.
So, for one thing, it's a book that you can keep and then go refer back to in the future. Taking a picture is pretty instantaneous, and then you take pictures of other things. When you paint, you have to think about a lot of things, like what time of day, who's going to be in the picture, what do I want to refer to, how much of the image do I want to include, just all kinds of things that make you think about an actual experience a lot more and enjoy it a lot more.
Right. And so this actually helps you solidify the memory of the experience because you're remembering all the details. And then does it then enhance for you the memory or?
It does. Oh, it definitely does. Yes.
Awesome.
It makes it something that the other beauty of it, Ted, is you can always refer back to it and know I had gone there this day and this is what I had done. The weather part is kind of really interesting too. Like we've had those if you have mild winters, it'll be recorded in the book. Have a lot of snow. What you do over a course of a year can be in your book.
And so really in some ways this is not just a photographer can line up a shot and take it and get shadow and light and so on and so forth. But then there's something of the personality of the artist is also captured in this. This becomes almost like an heirloom.
Exactly. So it's a long-term memory. Some people in my class say, I'm saving this for my kids in the future, for them to be able to see what I did on different days and enjoyed. And, it allows them to enjoy it too. The other thing you can do is take it from here and put it on a bigger page and really expand your art.
Oh, yeah, of course.
In fact, some professional artists like Picasso started with little sketches before they made big images. So you're kind of following the masters.
Oh, that's an awesome way to, and so like there's a process that everyone goes through, whether they're a master or a novice or something like that in beginning these things. But if I'm remembering my Picasso from high school art class or whatever, he went through different stages of life, and those different kinds of art that he created were reflective of where he was as a person and what he was thinking at the time. And I think a grandma or grandpa passing on to their children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren the feelings and the moods of we only know little bits and pieces about our grandfathers or grandmothers or what they did, and sometimes we only know that through our parents telling us.
And this is, again, it's a date, it's the weather, it's like what's happening that day. So it all brings their life back to you.
Yeah, and it's a fabulous way. But then the personality of grandma or grandpa comes out in these as well. And so in a lot of ways, you get to know the person that
you
much
get to
better.
know the person. You get to know the person. And
what,
it's something to keep. That's right. It's a keepsake.
And so what's the process when someone comes into your class and they go, I don't know anything about art. I don't know what to do. I just want to try this. How do you walk me through how you do that?
So the first class, I bring the material for the paint, and I have a postcard for everybody to create. So that if they want to send that to someone for the first class, but they have a palette. I give them a brush and a postcard, and basically we just review colors. Because the interesting thing about especially watercolors is you're creating a lot of your own colors, which is so creative. Which in this day and age, is just so important to do your own creative art.
exploring what happens when I put this kind of yellow and this kind of blue together, and what kind of green do I get out of that? And
Exactly. So they're creating, and how much water to add and things like that. So we just review that. Then we go over the steps of drawing your day. So we review that. We talk about what to put on a page. And then each week we come up with a different topic. I send out a suggestion, and then we paint that and give them an idea how to draw it and also paint it. Watercolor painting is a few things together, but this is a good introduction if you want to go and do other things. It's a great introduction for someone to learn how to do art.
And I'm looking at this because you briefly touched on the idea of you didn't use the word calligraphy, but that's what comes to my mind. And I'm looking at the different pages, and may I turn to another page?
Oh, sure.
I'm looking at this Friday artist, but then you've got very specific calligraphy, and that's, I think, reflective versus a typed word. That's very reflective of. Oh, I love this piece. Very reflective of the personality of the person as well. And so you've got some flowers there, and I can't read the writing. What does it say there?
Try something new.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like you realize I just randomly did that, and right here we are encouraging people to try new things.
It's right here in the book.
Honestly, we didn't pre-plan that. That's just totally serendipitous there. But this is. I can't. I want to say more about getting people's personality to come out, and this is. I'm trying not to use the word diary because I don't want to diminish what you do to just one little thing, but it's journaling, but it's so much more than just writing down your thoughts and feelings. It's almost like putting them to life.
It is a journal, and it's different than a written journal. It's like a kind of a little bit more of a carefree summary of your day. Draw your day.
Oh, there you go.
This was when I was in New York City, and I went to the Museum of Natural History, and I drew the dinosaurs, the whales, and I included my ticket. So you can always include other things of what you're doing that day. That's
so awesome. And then once somebody starts to get really good at this, can they come back to your class?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. No, a lot of people like to take it over and over again, learn something new every time, and then also keep the practice up.
Oh, yeah.
Keep the practice up.
This is something maybe if they don't do it every day, they should do it several times a week.
It's their choice. Everything is your choice, what you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to wait until you go on a big trip, that's fine. If you want to do it every day, there's meaning in absolutely every day. So this is a chance to put that down on paper.
Now that's well said. That's so fascinating to me. Like finding the meaning, even if there isn't some significant positive or negative event in the day, finding the meaning of every day. And journaling maybe helps you focus on that or bring that out or start to appreciate the smaller, can I use the word prosaic, aspects of life.
The other thing, it's your personal journal. So like you said, share with grandchildren, maybe, but maybe people don't want to do that. And that's okay. I mean, so I don't mind doing it, and I like sharing the idea of how to do it and what I've done. But if you don't want to share it, that's fine too.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. I was just thinking I was kind of a whoops baby. And so many of my grandparents were already passed by the time and so I only get to know them from photographs. And
see.
And if they had been doing something like this generations from now, grandparents, great grandparents, they would you just get a fuller dimension of who those people were.
I had artistic grandparents, so I'm fortunate that way.
So you're carrying on a great tradition. That's awesome.
They did not watercolor journal, but they were artistic. So it's a chance to. But interestingly enough, because I just received some watercolors my mother had done, she didn't sign it, and I don't know what day she did it. So to me, this takes that mystery a little bit further along so people can remember that.
That's awesome. Is there anything I'm leaving out? Anything that you need to
No, I
alert
think you
people
covered
to?
everything, Ted. I really appreciate you having me here, and I can't say enough great things about Tri-C. It's such an amazing place.
You're meeting
Amazing
a lot
resources.
of new people, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really wonderful.
We're so happy to have you aboard with us. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bonnie.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yes. Take care.